Hey everyone, you're listening to Kinda Tempted.
I'm Kimai,
And I'm Tanisha.
and today we're kind of tempted to go behind the scenes. Let's go. Woo! So today we have an episode that I feel like isn't really like a juicy topic unless you're interested in this, right?
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today, Tanisha?
Today we're here to pull back the curtain and give you guys a little behind the scenes episode about
Ooh,
what we do on our podcast here.
yeah, just in case y'all are curious. Some people have told me like you guys are like really prepared. How many episodes have you recorded? Because I guess if you've been listening, you would know that we pre-record all of our episodes pretty
Yeah.
early in advance. So we're kind of explaining our process and yeah, sharing that with y'all today.
We're just explaining why we aren't relevant. It's because we can't be relevant because
That's
we are
true.
recording way in advance. But that's okay because, as you'll see, there are some pros and cons to doing this.
Yeah.
And I actually just, Keith was messaging me the other day telling us he was excited about an episode. And he was like, "What's your goal for the podcast?" And I haven't messaged him back. So, Keith, here's your answer, but I will get to you eventually because this will come out a few months into
Yeah.
the future.
Yes, it will. If you wait for him to hear this episode,
Yeah.
he's gonna be waiting a few months.
Yeah, we're gonna do that to poor Keith. Okay. We're
Yeah.
gonna pre-answer that question, but then message him
Mm-hmm.
eventually
Yeah.
sooner than
Don't
this episode comes out.
don't be like me. I take about 2 months to reply sometimes. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
everyone.
it's okay. And then people are like, "Is Kimai mad?" And you're like, "No,
I'm
Kimai is
just
not mad."
busy.
She
I'm
literally just forgot, and that's
yeah.
not your fault.
I'm busy. I'm mentally drained. I just want to read a book
Yes.
instead of looking at my phone sometimes, except when Kim Sun Ho is on my phone, then I'll look at that shit for days.
Oh my goodness. I have recently discovered the magic that is him, but that is not what today is about. We can make that a whole
We could talk
episode.
about it. Yeah, exactly. So today we're talking about our podcast. So, how's our podcast going so far, Tanisha?
I think it's going great. Personally, I'm having a good time. We're working through things every day. We work
Mm-hmm.
on it a little bit every single day, but the work is piling up, mostly for me, not for Kimai, but
Oh
it's
no, it's
getting
piling up,
there.
girl. It's
Oh,
piling up.
okay.
It's piling up now. We were
There were
really on
just
top of it for a while.
yeah, we were doing a really great job. We were in advance, like for all of our descriptions, not just
Mm-hmm.
recordings and everything.
Yeah.
But now it's a different story. But that's why it was a good decision for us to record in advance.
Yeah.
So
And you
we
know
have more
what?
time.
Yeah. And maybe after having this discussion with you all, we'll be motivated to get back to our even more organized ways. Because right now, we're stressed out. At least I'm stressed out. And it's honestly my fault because I have pushed things back on myself. So we're here to motivate each other.
Yeah. So yeah, podcast is going well in my opinion. And in yours,
Yeah.
can I? Yeah.
Publicly, we are fine. but
Luckily, we're glowing. We're striving for greatness. But behind the scenes, it's struggle bus a little bit.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got to get our
Um.
caboose out there.
Oh. Ooh. So, Kimai, how are you feeling about the podcast? Like, how do you feel?
I really enjoy the podcast. I think this is fun. I mean, we started this because we wanted to do something fun for ourselves, a personal project. I still think it's fun. But as you mentioned, like things have been piling up for both of us, and that adds like more stress, kind of a little bit overwhelming, especially with the shit that's been going on lately in my life. But I'm enjoying it. This is something that I want to continue pursuing in the future. It's a nice side project that I feel like is for me or like for us and for our audience.
Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when you guys get to know how we're actually feeling behind the scenes, like we also kind of want to know what you guys are perceiving from the outside. And we want more engagement, more interaction.
Mm-hmm.
We do want to continue this as long as it'll go. Right now, our only compensation for all of this time that we're putting in is your listens and your
Yeah.
engagement with us. So
Yes.
it means a lot. It really does.
It really means a lot. Like every time we see like a new comment, we're like, oh my God, who commented? Dave, thank you.
Yeah. We have
And
like
so
a
it's
little conversation.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I think if we get even more engagement, like that would just make our day. Even if you're just like on a teaser and you have no fucking clue what we're teasing. Like we did a terrible job at the teaser. You're just like, I don't fucking know what this means. Oh my God, I think it's this. You could say that it's a dog when it has cats
Mhm.
on it, and we'll be like, oh my God, they tried their best. Or
And we
maybe we're
will
just
respond.
yeah. Well,
Yes.
maybe, you'll bring in the dog emoji, we'll bring in the cat emoji or something,
There you
like we'll help
go.
you out there. But
Yeah.
engagement is so important for us. Like sometimes we go on like Instagram stories and we try to talk to you guys, but really we're just talking to ourselves.
Oh my God. I have a whole story about that planned at the end. So
Oh,
we'll
okay.
get
Yeah,
to
we'll
that
get to that.
eventually.
We will. We have
Um,
feelings about it.
we have feelings about everything. And I guess this
Yeah.
is our ranting episode. That's what this is.
Yeah. So you guys can feel our struggle and hopefully engage with us more.
Yes, please. So moving on, what materials do we use to make this podcast happen?
Okay. So when we first started planning this podcast, we were like, what the fuck do we do? We're like, do we have to pay for this shit? We're poor, you know?
Right.
But luckily, the internet and technology has blessed us with a lot of free shit. So we use Zoom as our recording platform. So I know like a lot of people who do podcasts. Actually, I don't know anyone else that does podcasts except for us, Roberto, David, and Annika and Vanessa. But anyways, I know like some people will record different audio pieces or files for each person and then like sync it. We don't do that shit, okay? We go on Zoom, we record one audio file, one video file, and we just fucking try our best. Like if the internet sucks and Tanisha or I cut out, we just cut that section out of the podcast, you know? Or
Yes.
or I just tell Tanisha, like, hey, you cut out. Can you just repeat everything you just said and pretend it's the
Yeah.
first time you said it? So they're definitely
It's the
they're
truth.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
use Zoom, and so we have to thank you, CEO of Zoom, for allowing us this opportunity through your free platform. You do
Wow.
send me emails, not the CEO, just Zoom in general.
Oh my
Sends me
goodness.
emails asking me to pay for premium. But sir, I could barely pay for this mic, okay?
Sir.
Which is the one thing we did pay for to prepare for
Yes.
this podcast. We have like what do we have, like a blue snowball or something?
Yes. It's called a blue snowball. I guess Blue is the company and the snowball is the version of microphone we are using. And if I'm just
Yeah,
botching that, you can go to Amazon, okay, to like get that right in your mind. Because
yeah.
all I know is that I do have a little snowball here and it says Blue
Hmm.
on it. And
Yeah, mine too.
yeah, they have been our ride or die for this entire journey. So thank
Hmm.
God we have them. And what is the goal with these mics, Kim I?
Our goal is to raise enough money to at least pay off our mics. So far, we are in debt. Okay, like if
We're
we
at
were
like minus 100 right now.
exactly, that is our debt. Okay, if we paid for Zoom Premium, it would even go higher. You know what? We haven't even considered the Adobe part that we use to edit and shit.
Oh
That's
shit.
even more in debt, but it's fine. We just can ignore that. I just get it charged on my card. I just don't even think about it because it's life right now. Okay, it's life or death. But that's our goal, to pay off our mics. And then if we get to that goal, then we can pay off Adobe's subscription.
Yeah, we just, little steps at a time. Okay. You
Yeah.
can't just like dive in all at once.
No, no.
And in an effort to be as budget friendly as possible, I just kind of use the lighting in my room, which is
Yeah,
over there, and that's it.
me
Yeah.
too. So in my room, I have like a ceiling fan that has a light. It is not a very effective light. So what I would have to do before, right now I have a different, I'll get to that, but before I would have to bring in like a chair, put it in front of my desk, and then I'd have to get a lamp, put it on the chair and face the lamp towards me, put it on a
Mhm.
certain setting that didn't make me look like an alien. And then that was how I got my lighting. But my dad had just invested in ceiling lights for me lately. So I mean, not that he did this for the podcast. He was just like, hey, we're putting lights everywhere. Do you want it in your room? And I'm like, Yes, please. But funny story, it's only on half of the room because there's just like an issue. Like the roof is there's design issues with the house, right? And so it's only on half of my room and it's on the half that I'm not on. So it's not terrible, but it could be better. But I appreciate the new light.
We really appreciate whatever we have been given, and here we are using it. But often I consider buying like a ring light or some shit.
Dude, same.
Honestly.
Or like getting like a really HD camera or something.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let's invest before we make money. No, probably. I don't know. No.
Oh
We're
my
not there yet,
God. We
but
can
we'll
do
get
that.
there.
We'll get there. Like, I hope y'all are listening to us because we are interesting and you like us, not because we have really great gear, because we don't.
Yeah. If you think this is great gear, maybe you haven't seen any other type of media in your life, but thank you.
Yeah. We don't even have that thing. Have you seen those little, what is it, those screens? Like sometimes people like have like really strong like S sounds and it filters that. We don't even have that shit.
No.
So we're just trying our best. And we just use like, I just have my laptop here. My laptop is a MacBook Air. And if y'all know about MacBook Airs, their energy is low. So sometimes you can hear my laptop. I don't know if you have heard it, but like sometimes if it's working real hard, like you can hear it. You can hear it working real hard. So sometimes when we record, I'm just praying my laptop makes it through.
I mean, she's doing a great job so far, but we will get you one soon and we will pay that off along with our microphones. Hopefully. That is the goal.
That is the goal. That'd be cool.
That is the goal. But besides our, very high-end equipment and our microphone that we got off of Amazon,
yes.
Okay, for a good deal, what do we do behind the scenes? What are our jobs? How do we split up the work?
I think we split up the work pretty evenly. In the beginning, I feel like I was trying to take on a lot though, because I was like, oh, I want to try this. I want to try that. I'm going to do everything. And then after a while, I was like, Tanisha, I can't do this anymore. Please help me. And she was like, Tanisha all the time was like, hey, can I help you? Can I help you? And I was like, no, I got this. I got this. But then I suddenly didn't get it. So I had to ask her. But thankfully, she has been taking like a lot of things off my plate that were originally like I put on myself. So now I'm in charge of like recording, which is really just clicking a button on Zoom that says record. And then
very important. Okay. That's a very important job.
Yeah. You have to click that button, make sure, because if you don't, you're just talking and nothing gets recorded and you're just left empty and tired. So I'm in charge of clicking the record button, editing the graphics, creating the graphics, teasers, and editing the episodes. So what I usually do is that I will go through it first, like go through the whole episode, make all of the cuts that I think are needed, and then I pass it on to Tanisha to do final cuts. And I also upload everything onto like Anchor, Spotify, YouTube. I really just like copy and paste, so it's not that bad. And then Tanisha says that I troubleshoot. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. What do I troubleshoot?
By that I mean whenever I'm confused or have a problem, I was just like, Tanisha, what do you mean? It's right there. And I'm like, oh, you're right, Kimai. And then everything's fine again. Or when we're having a problem, honestly, okay, uploading on Anchor and YouTube, I don't know how to do that, guys.
Oh,
I don't. I mean, yeah, okay, because I've never done it, right? So that's probably why I don't know how. But that is Kimai's job and solely her job at the moment. So.
I thought I was doing a pretty good job, but I recently made a mistake on episode 17. Yeah, I'll go through that later. But I did make a mistake and I caught it though. No one else, I don't know if anyone else caught it, but I did. But yeah, so we literally do everything ourselves. Like actually, we did have Sharon do a graphic, like our logo and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's something that we had outsourced. All right, Tanisha, what are your tasks?
My jobs are I write descriptions for each episode and each post. I also review episode drafts that Kimai sends me after she edits them. And then I go through all the episodes and I pick out certain clips for the teasers. And then I hand them to Kimai and she expertly splices them together in a way that seems very interesting that I'm like, wow, I would not have thought of that. And it's amazing. I also need to look up how to monetize our podcast so we can actually pay off our microphones. That is the goal, I guess.
That's okay. I mean, that job is really something we both should be doing, but Tanisha started doing it. So I was like, you know what? You can continue doing it and then I'll try to help whenever I can.
She's like, I'm going to put it under your job description. That is your job. Yes.
Tanisha logged in and she's like, oh shit. All right. I got to do that now.
Oh my God. Honestly.
Mhm.
And then along with that, both of us, we will post on IG stories and, okay, putting stickers on the little story posts, that's kind of hard. Okay. I didn't know the stickers existed before I had to do it for the podcast. Like just the process of like making something look cute and designing it for the story. I'm just like, sometimes I have it in me and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like if I don't, then it looks really messy. Sometimes I'm really proud of myself.
Right.
Sometimes I forget and I'm like, hey, Tanisha, can you please do this real quick?
And then that's why it's good that there's two of us and not just one, because if one forgets, then it's over.
Yeah.
But there's a partner, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And I forget things too. And we both also look up photos for graphics, but then Kimai is, again, the genius that puts them together. And honestly, she's really good at visuals, I think, like making sure things color coordinate and look good. And God, I appreciate so many things about you. I'm so happy that we have you.
I appreciate you too. I think before, like, because I was doing the graphics, I like took it upon myself to be like, oh, I'll do like everything with the graphics. But then it like got to the point where I was like, oh shit, like I spend a lot of time like rearranging it already. And I was like, Tanisha, can you help me just like look for the photos? Because at the same time, it's like, if I'm the only one looking for the photos, then it's like always my like ideas that are being transferred. But then I was also like, oh, like if Tanisha helps me, then like I can get like different ideas from her. We can like bring it together. And then it has like both of our like feedback into it and also like expand the horizon on like what we can add, because like when you're doing something just on your own, you have like, I mean, I don't try to, but like you're just like, oh, I have this is how I usually like it. But like sometimes you need to throw a little pixie dust on there, and that's what Tanisha is. She's a little pixie dust. She is not the pixie dust.
I am literal dust. You heard it here first. Okay.
She contributes
nothing.
She contributes to the pixie dust. But yeah, so I really appreciate that. And so I feel like now it's mostly Tanisha who looks for the photos, but like once in a while, like if I feel inspired, then I'll like also contribute, but like we communicate with each other. So it's not like we're doing the same things at the same time. That's actually why I started doing like all of the edits for the episode first. It used to be I would upload the full thing, Tanisha would edit, or I would edit, like we would be doing it at the same time. And then she would give me timestamps, but I have different timestamps now, timestamps since I changed it. For me, I just felt like it was more efficient because it was already on my computer, just go through it first and then have her watch it through the first draft and then give me feedback from there.
And that's just something that we had to hash out by doing it for like so many weeks and then realizing, oh, this isn't working because we're both doing the same thing. That's not efficient. Let's change it. So yeah, that's just something that we learned along the way. We did not automatically think that that is how it should be. Learning curve, but that's okay. This is fun. And also, I want to mention something. I feel like there are a good number of podcasts, or maybe most podcasts, that don't actually edit the content that they put out. They just hit record for an hour and then they will post it. And that's amazing for them. I wish we could do that too.
They do that. If we did that, it would be like 2-3 hour episodes. That's why we can't do that.
It really would be. Oh my God. There are so many reasons why editing is important for us. And I think the big one is so we don't have to put so much pressure on ourselves while we're recording. And then also we want to make sure that the content is entertaining like most of the way through. So if we can cut out dead space, we can just give you the best parts of what we've recorded. And, I think it's just more exciting to listen to that way.
I don't know if you guys think that we talk really fast, but we don't. We actually think a lot. And between our sentences, there will be like 10 freaking pauses. So I got to cut that shit out because after the first 5 pauses, I lose interest in myself.
Right.
And if I lose interest in myself, y'all have already like lost interest after the first pause. Okay. So I go between like, oh, I want to share like how we actually speak, but I also don't want to let you guys suffer through all of that. Okay. And sometimes if we're just thinking about it, then let's just keep that an inner thought instead of an outer thought.
You don't need to share that. No.
Exactly. But I try my best to like keep it as like authentic as possible, which I mean, I don't add anything to it. I mostly cut things out.
Sometimes when you're thinking and you start speaking, you realize, wait, that is not what I wanted to say at all. The meaning has been misconstrued, but it's okay because we can cut that part out and then we can try again. I think that's great for us because I don't know, what if we say something wrong that we don't want on the internet forever, Kim I?
Yeah.
Then we can take it out. Yeah.
Like we say a lot of stuff and
we say a lot of shit, guys.
most of the stuff I can deal with, but the other stuff I'm like, you know what? I did say what I said, but that doesn't mean y'all got to hear what I said, you know?
Oh my God. Y'all got to earn that right. Okay, so you can be with Kim I in person. But yeah, editing does take a long time, you guys. I feel like that is maybe the most time consuming part of what we are trying to do. I think there are more pros than cons to editing, so we continue to do it.
How do you feel about the tasks that you have though? Because like we mentioned, it was kind of something that we kind of passed back and forth to each other as we started doing the podcast. So how do you feel about your task? Share the tea because maybe we can change it up if you hate it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, first of all, I don't hate anything. I'm having a good time. Sometimes it's hard for me to like sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna edit this episode, or like I'm gonna do this, you know. But once I sit down and do it, like I'm having a really great time. And just picture this: I am in my room alone, staring at the computer, watching our episodes and fucking laughing my ass off because I think we're so fucking funny. that is me while I'm working on the podcast. It's just me laughing alone in a room by myself. Oh my gosh. So I'm having a good time, but I'm like, if anybody could watch me right now, they'd feel like, oh my God, she's fucking nuts. Do I think we're funny? I think we're really fucking funny. Okay. But you gotta be your own biggest fan. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. You know, my headspace when I sit down to work on podcast stuff, like I want to be in a really good mood because I don't want a bad mood to maybe come off in the words that I type out for descriptions or in my editing, because I just want this to be like a happy, safe place, something that's not too like heavy or serious, just somewhere to go to talk and have fun. And for you guys to listen to that too. I really do listen to our episodes over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again, because I'm trying to find clips. I'm trying to write a description that's going to hook you and get you interested to read it and listen. Okay. And honestly, if you guys read my descriptions, anybody who actually reads what I type out for every single post, I fucking love you, because that shit will take me all fucking day.
You know what? Yeah. So it may be a little description to y'all, but it's Tanisha's baby. Okay. Really like she really be producing different descriptive babies all the time, every week. Okay. My goodness. And you just, if you've ever had to write an essay and you've had to like appeal to the teacher or something, try appealing to the world. Okay.
Oh fuck.
Or like you sound important. Y'all know like it's hard, you know, it's hard to like think of something where you, on one hand, it's like, oh, like we're doing this for ourselves, right? But at the same time, we do want more people to listen. We want people to be engaged and like as excited for the next episode as we are. So like we're trying to like convey that too. And imagine how difficult it is, but we have fun.
It's fine. You know, as long as I'm having fun typing everything out, it's okay if you guys don't read it and enjoy it, but I would like you to. I would love you to. I just want you to be interested. And maybe if you're a little bit confused or feel like you've been clickbaited, okay, that is all part of my grandmaster plan. That is the goal. To get you guys to listen.
Tanisha is honestly super witty and her descriptions are really good. Like I think in the beginning, like I said, I was doing everything. Like I was doing the descriptions because Tanisha was saying like, oh, like she likes how I like write and stuff. But after a while, I was like, you know what? You know what, Tanisha, you are great as well. Let's see your skills. And you know, we've been seeing it for a long time now. So let's keep on going, Tanisha. You got this.
Thanks. No, Kim I was really good at descriptions, but I am glad that I get to be a part of the podcast in this way too. And she does have a lot on her plate. And how do you feel about all of the tasks that you have to do?
As I've mentioned, it's really fun overall. And another reason why I want to do this podcast was to also improve my skills. So like personal project, spend time with Tanisha, but I've always wanted to like get better in like Photoshop or Illustrator or Premiere Pro, which are the programs that I use. I'm not doing anything crazy in them, okay? Like I literally copy and paste and I have a template. I should be doing more, But I think the fact that I'm like using it and kind of getting more familiar with it is something that like I'm proud of. That's like what I wanted to do. That's another one of my goals, to improve and do better with these kind of technical skills. I just don't have a lot of time though to like switch things up, and it takes a long time since I'm like still learning, still new to this. And sometimes like if something is so difficult, like, ooh, let me put this lamp from this picture into this. I don't know how to fucking do that. Okay. Like, and if I wanted to try, I definitely could, but it would take me like 5 hours. So I'm just going to be like, let me just Google a picture of the lamp that's close enough to this picture, you know? So that's
Yeah,
also a skill in itself.
it really
Um,
is.
but it's like really fun. I just feel like Tanisha said, like I do have a lot on my plate. So I just have to like really manage my time well. I've had some like terrors. Like I don't know if we're gonna talk about this later, but I'll just mention mine now
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
can think of. In the beginning, when we were recording, we actually recorded on my school account. And then it would upload onto the cloud because my school account was premium. And when it was on the cloud, that's kind of why I didn't edit first. I would let Tanisha edit, or whoever did it first, because when it was on the cloud, it was automatically uploaded there. Tanisha could access it instantly without having me upload it, which takes like an hour. Okay. And then she also had, what is it, like the timestamp with what we were saying, like transcript.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we were doing that and it was super convenient. All I had to do was like download it from the cloud and then edit it. But all of a sudden, when we finished recording Rack City, the download button was gone. So I had this episode that we thought was hilarious. Okay, we thought it was our best episode at the time because we thought we were
It
so funny in
was.
that episode. And it was, we were great,
Yeah.
but it was stuck in the cloud. Like I was like, bitch, let it go, you know? and and so I went through this whole ordeal with my school and my counselor. I was like, hey, please give me access to download this. And they're like, nah, you never had access to download this. I'm like, hey, please. I've been downloading this stuff for like weeks. Okay. And they're like, no, 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 you never had access. I'm like,
Oh
how are
my
you going to tell me I don't have access when I had access? Okay. And so like it took weeks actually for this to get resolved. I had to like send a screenshot
God. Mm-hmm.
of like my Zoom account that said like one download. I sent it. I'm like, hey, you see that there's one download? That's me. Like I did that. Okay. And then so after I sent that screenshot, like, dude, this was escalated to like administration. Like it was escalated very high. Okay. And then they emailed me. They're like, okay, which one is it? We'll grab it for you. We can't give you access, but we'll download it and give it to you. So I don't know if my school watched it or if my counselor watched it, but they definitely have access to Rack City episode. I kind of wish it wasn't
Yes.
that episode,
Mm-hmm.
but they shared the file with me. We actually needed that because I think Tanisha did the most. We were like, shoot, so how do we do this? Like, how do we get this episode without having this episode? So what Tanisha did was she sat quietly in her
I
room.
did.
She sat quietly in her room and she played that episode and recorded it on her. What is it? You like screen recorded or something?
Yeah. I played the episode back and then I screen recorded it, and I was sitting in my room with like some quiet snacks, okay, and like my water, and just like waiting in my soundproof room. Like I stuffed t-shirts under my
Oh my
door,
gosh.
okay, and I was like, gotta make sure this is perfect because we don't know if Kimai can get this back because Phil's
Yeah.
being a bitch, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's that was the problem, but eventually, what happened?
Eventually we got it and we needed it. So I think like Rack City was like two parts, right? So the first
Mm-hmm.
part was fine, but the second part had this like really weird sound that was very, very distracting and just not good to hear. So I was like, shoot, like if we don't get this, we're just gonna have to upload whatever we have and explain it. But then we got it in time. And in time, because like I said, we record our episodes so freaking early in advance that the week's delay wasn't even a delay for us. Like all I had to do, like I edited Tanisha's recording that she had given me. That shit went up to 8 gigs, by the way. I think it was like right when you're uploading onto our
Google Drive.
Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, she waited, right? You waited until it uploaded, and then it
Yeah.
said there's not enough memory for this.
Yeah, they were like, it took like hours, okay. And then Google was like, bitch, this is too fucking big, it don't fit. And I was like, can I help? And so Kim I deleted a bunch of shit that, we thought we might keep on there forever, but decided was
Not anymore.
unimportant. Made some room, and we were like, we fucking need this episode because we funny as fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And mind you, I think that recording was like 2 hours long or something, which explains why we split it into 2 episodes. But we got it. Like, all in all, we got it. My school they probably think I'm crazy, but we got it. Okay. Actually, they were crazy. Like, how are they going to tell me I never had access to download it when I had like 3 or 4 episodes downloaded? So that was their mistake, but it's okay. And then they were like, hey, stop recording on this account. I'm like, yeah, I will, because this was a nightmare. So now we record on my personal account and it goes directly onto my computer. I have to shout out Annika for helping me navigate through this, because I had asked her when all of this was happening. I was like, dude, Annika, like, what do you do to record? Because I don't know what to do. And she just told me, and I pretty much do what she's doing now. That's our first crazy mishap.
Crisis averted.
Crisis averted. Our second one, I mean, it's not a long story, and I don't think Tanisha felt it as much as I did, because I lost an episode. I was editing it already. I was like halfway done.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Harry Potter Sorting Hat episode. And
it was that one. Okay.
Yeah, it was that one. And I had edited it all the way to the Patronus part. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I hit the Patronus. I'm going to stop editing now. Saved it. I know I saved it. I always save that shit. Okay. And then I like closed it. And then when I went into that folder, it was gone. And I was in tears. I was like, oh, where is it? Where is episode 19? Where? Okay. Like, is it using the cloak of invisibility? Like, no. Okay. I don't have that shit on my computer. Eventually I found it after I was editing, or I was going to upload episode 15. And then I saw that bitch. She was hiding in episode 15's folder. I was like, what are you doing in here? And so I had to move her. But fortunately, I found it, but I actually had started a new file. And as I was going through it again, I was like, I hate this so much, because I've listened to this like 15 times already. And now this is like my 20th time going into it. Mm-hmm. And I have to re-edit it again. And like, editing is just, it's a lot. That's fine. Like, I found it. It's good. Tanisha still has to edit it at this point in time.
Yeah, Tanisha is currently behind on reviewing the edits that Kim Mai has made and then adding my own edits. The good thing is that she does a pretty good job. And when I listen back, I'm like, this is great. Like, I don't have to add anything else. Like, she's doing good, But yeah, I'm behind. And that's okay. What is catching up to me.
Sorry. I have to edit these episodes. I think I have like 2 or 3 episodes that I haven't completed editing. Yeah, and that weighs on me every day.
That's okay, because that means by now I have like 5 or 6. So it's okay. It's fine. Maybe 7.
It's okay.
It's all right.
I mean, overall, I'm having a great time.
We're having a great time. It's just, we want you guys to get the reality of what is happening.
We do.
Behind these podcasts and these posts. We have a posting schedule, you guys.
We do.
So
we try to follow it as close as possible.
We do. Sometimes we falter, but we get back up again. And you guys probably don't even notice, and we're the only ones freaking out. Let's talk about how we plan our episodes.
Do you want to go, Tanisha? I talked a lot.
Okay. So now let's get into how we plan out our episodes. So, we're fucking busy, but also when I mean we're fucking busy, I mean Kim Mai's fucking busy.
No, we're both busy. She's trying to get into school.
But as a result of this busyness, Kim Mai thinks it's very important to get things done in advance. And so do I. I'm just a little bit worse at getting things done way in advance. So Kim Mai has dictated that, and she actually created a whole spreadsheet to make sure that we stay on track with all of the things we have to do, at what dates we have to do them, and what time we have to get them done. So that's been super helpful. In order to have everything done way in advance, that means we have to record our episodes way in advance. So we're ready to create the descriptions, to edit and everything, have it posted on YouTube so that it goes live at the time that we actually want it to go live. And we don't have to actually worry about that whole process like the week before or like right before. Planning does keep us consistent and allows us to be super flexible. Like if Kim Mai is feeling really tired, like she just had an exam one day and we're set to record that day, she can just let me know, hey, like today is maybe not the best day. Can we do a different day, or can we skip this week? And
Yeah.
it ends up being completely fine. Like, how many we've skipped, like maybe
Dude.
10 weeks or more at this point, and we
Yeah,
try to
like,
record every week.
we were really good in the beginning, and then like I started going to Hawaii, then Tanisha started going to Hawaii. Like we just kept going to Hawaii, dude. Okay. Like we just kept having a life. We were just like 5 episodes
we just
ready.
kept having a life.
Let's
Thank
go.
God we did. Okay. And we were really good in the beginning. I think excitement pushes us to do more and more. It'll dip a little bit. We'll give ourselves a break, and then we'll come back better than ever. And then it's completely okay.
Yeah.
So because of this planning ahead right now, let's pull back the curtain even more. Okay. It's November. It's November 12th. And we are prepared with episodes until the end of February.
Jeez.
Wow. The more you know. Amazing.
Yeah, I think this episode is probably going to be released like end of February-ish. Hello, future everyone.
Hello, future everyone. Yeah, so we record, or we try to record every single week, and then the general idea is to release an episode every other week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if we're feeling a little generous, okay, we will throw in surprise episodes, or like split them into 2 or something, and then have back-to-back releases, so weekly. But that really does depend on how we're feeling and how backed up on work we are. But we do also have notes on a Google Doc that we will create a week in advance for each episode. And we'll just type out an outline. And so I'll know what I want to say. Kimai will know what she wants to say. And then we'll be able to follow that outline as we record each episode. So right now I do have my outline on one half of my screen, and then the Zoom on the other half, so that I can see us and what I look like, make sure I don't look like a fool. Okay. And also I can make sure I don't speak like a fool because I have my notes ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, we try our best.
We will still sound like a fool sometimes, but at least it will be planned.
Because planned foolery. Planned foolery. That's what we'll call
planned foolery. Wow. Somebody put that on t-shirt, because that's literally our entire podcast. That's what it is. Planned foolery.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we plan it. Even after like every episode that we record, we think like, okay, what's next? But we are looking for more ideas. So try to help us out there. Okay, y'all?
Comment some ideas for what you guys want us to talk about. I know some of you guys have also DM'd us or sent us texts about what you like, maybe what you don't like, what we can improve on. And we would love if you guys could continue to do that, because it does help us a lot. Yeah. So honestly, like if somebody deleted all of our shit on Google Drive, we would cry and maybe never recover. We would be devastated. That's because we really rely on that shit. Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. Why did I just give, all of our worst enemies the idea to do that? I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's fine. We'll come back better than ever.
We'll Tanisha, cry we will. At ourselves. we will, but maybe we'll cry ourselves to sleep. Right. We'll see.
Moving on to our recording. So, I mean, we kind of touched on this process earlier, but we'll go over it real quick. So in general, when we start recording, we just do a little tap on our mic, hey, can you hear me? Make sure our sound works, our camera works. And sometimes we decorate. Like, I don't know if y'all saw our Halloween episode. Tanisha had some cute lights, and we turned off all the lights. Yeah. And I had the owl costume. Okay, the reason that I'm whispering owl, it's because I kept saying that animal so many times. It's been popping up in my phone. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's scary.
So, it is
scary for Kimai. Yeah.
It's scary, okay, guys? So I'm not gonna mention that animal with the big eyes anymore, because this shit is picking it up, and I keep telling it like, no owl, okay, like no, but it doesn't really yeah, anyways. Yeah, so that's what we did for our Halloween episode. And then I think like we try to like match like the shirts. We didn't plan on matching today, but like, look, Tanisha got some pollen yellow over there, and like we'll call this pollen 2 now.
Yeah, we got cute. Little pastel yellow moment. Very cute.
Yellow's our color. It really is. I like it. It's our color.
Yeah.
It's all your colors too. Okay, we love yellow. If you don't love yellow, that's okay. You'll love yellow. Period.
Yeah.
Okay. And like, as I said, I click record. We like discuss a little bit, like, okay, like we're gonna go over like the big things, the main topics that we're gonna talk about, or like, hey, are you concerned about anything you don't want to talk about? We kind of review that beforehand. so we know like what we're comfortable with saying. I mean, usually we're comfortable with everything, especially Tanisha. She's like, okay, I have nothing to hide. Okay.
It's a little dangerous up in here. Okay. That's why Kim Mai is here to tone me down a little bit, make sure we don't get demonetized when we finally get monetized.
You know what? I'm like worried. I'm like, what if we don't even get monetized because I have like a potty mouth. Like every time Brian hears, he's like, oh my God, you have a potty mouth. I'm like, I can't help it. Like when I get excited, that stuff comes out.
That stuff comes out, you guys. That stuff. But you know what? I feel like some brands will appreciate honesty and being authentic. And I know of some podcasts, people, hosts that have potty mouth that still get sponsored. So we will aim for those companies.
We will. Tanisha, you just have to like raise your potty mouth to my level, because sometimes when I talk and I like re-listen, I'm like, oh shoot, I need to calm down because Tanisha's over there being an angel and I'm over here like not an angel.
Kim, I don't think you notice how much I curse because it's just natural to you now, unnoticeable now. Did you not just hear me say fuck 3 times in 3 different ways in one sentence like earlier, 20 minutes ago? I'm pretty sure I did. So here we are. Anybody want to sponsor us? We're really cute.
We really are.
We love native deodorant. Hint, hint.
We do. We love it. Yeah.
Possible sponsor target.
We love it. My pits love it.
Yes. we have high hopes, and Kim Mai's pits smell like a sugar cookie, and like it's a good time over here.
It really is sugar cookie time. Like wintertime, sugar cookie time. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. They have seasonal scents. Look, we're already doing the work for you. Might as well.
Dude, I'll be honest, like those seasonal scents, like they get me. I'm like, I just bought 3 summer deodorants and I almost bought 3 fall deodorants. I don't need that much deodorant, but like I don't know, maybe I do. Okay, anyways.
Working so hard for so little. Okay.
So I click record.
Yes.
And
it's the button.
The most important thing, what do we encourage? Consent. We always encourage giving consent, an enthusiastic yes. So when I click record, Zumi, that's her name, she goes, wow, recording has started, or some shit like that, like recording is now on. Okay, so she says that, and I always thought like, you know, she just says that, she doesn't ask for permission, she's just like, it's on. But Tanisha, she told me that she has to give consent. So yes. Can you tell me what you experienced?
So while she says recording in progress or something,
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I get a little pop-up that says, do you give consent to be recorded? And I have to click a button that says, yes, I give consent. Otherwise, I don't know what happens. Maybe it will stop recording. I don't know what happens, but I've always allowed it. I have always given an enthusiastic yes.
We love that.
And that's why we are here and we have content.
So always consent with an enthusiastic yes. If you want to, of course. Like, I'm not telling you to consent without consent, but like consent if you want to. But yeah, so that's what happens. And then again, we try to follow the flow of our notes. Ideally, we try to record within or around an hour. Unfortunately, that often does not happen, as you probably have noticed from our past episodes, which are often over an hour. So you can imagine how much we fucking talk. Okay, sometimes I'm cutting off 40 minutes, and it's kind of crazy to cut off 40 minutes of recording. Like how do you do that? I don't know how I do it. Okay, like sometimes I'm just like, dang, I was really funny here, but I'm not funny enough. See ya, Kim Mai. You know, like that's what I have to do sometimes. Or like, dang, you're talking too much. Cut. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Okay. Yeah. But like to myself, never to Tanisha. Okay.
That's important to mention too. It's like when we edit, we're mostly editing our own speaking. So I'm never going to be like, no, Kim Mai, that's not important. Unless it really just maybe isn't on topic for the episode. And maybe we're just like, cut that whole section out. But that's why we both have a hand in editing. So we can make sure that we keep what we want to keep. And yeah, so I feel like right now we started recording like an hour and a half ago.
Oh God.
And just keep that in mind, and then look at the little timestamp for where you're at while you're listening to this, and let me know, is it at 30 minutes? Is it at 20? We'll find out later. But right now it's been an hour and a half of talking.
We'll see. I really thought this episode was going to be short. I thought it was going to be like bam, 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 because like it's just behind the scenes. What do they need to know? But I guess you have to know everything. So
if you're maybe a true fan.
Yeah, if you're a true fan, maybe this will be 2 parts. I don't know if that'll fit in the schedule, but we'll see. So when you are recording, Tanisha, what do you usually prepare?
When I am recording, I don't prepare much actually. Like I have my desk situated in the corner of my room, and the background, she is what she is. And that is good enough for me. Okay.
Yes.
I will clean up like a little bit of mess if it's in the like in view of what you guys see, but other than that, like I just keep it like this. Sometimes I will do like a practice meeting that is just me. Like I will open up a Zoom meeting for myself and see how it looks on the screen so I can
This
see like if
is,
everything looks good. Did you
yeah.
not know this?
No, I didn't know that. This is news to me.
That yeah, I do that sometimes
You know
because
what?
I
That's
just want to make
fine.
sure I look
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Dang, no
Yeah.
wonder you look awesome in every episode. Sometimes I come in with like a sweater and I'm like, all
Oh
right,
my
this is what y'all
goodness.
get today.
Sometimes there are multiple outfit changes too, like before we start recording, you know. Yeah, that's another side note. My lighting, she's kind of yellow. She's kind of pollen yellow. She's kind of pastel yellow, okay? But the the glow from the screen on my
Oh,
laptop helps a little bit. Okay, look
mm,
look at this. Is this highlight? No.
it's
It's
juicy.
blue light from my freaking
Oh,
computer
it's blue.
screen, okay? There's also a little light next to my camera up here. So when I get closer, you know, I get a little more iridescent, a little more luminous. Okay.
Wow, we love that.
But yes, you know, anything that I need all the help I can get. But that's really all I do to set up. I just make sure my earbuds are connected to my
Mhm.
Bluetooth on my laptop, Zoom's on, microphone's working, and then we're ready to go. What do you do, Kimai?
I used to do a lot like with the whole lamp thing that I mentioned, but now like the lighting's okay. As you guys can see, my background is literally a wall. I'm not trapped between a wall and a table usually. I have my desk usually turned the other way, but the other way is not presentable. So thank goodness my desk is portable. I don't know if I want a portable desk like this, but it is what it is. So I turn it towards the wall so you can kind of see something better. Like I think Sharon came over the other day. She was like in a meeting and she's like, "Hey, do you have a spot I can use?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can use this spot." And she's like, "Is that your podcasting spot?" I'm like, "Yes." And now it's your escape room spot, Sharon.
Wow.
Yeah, she did a virtual escape room. But anyways, but yeah, so that's pretty much all that I do. I do the same thing, like check the sound and the mic and stuff. I used to stack books and then put my mic on it so it could be closer to me. So it kind of depends. Like if like Tanisha can't hear me, then I'll try that. But right
Mhm.
now I'm not doing that extra stuff. Like really simple.
You know what, Kimai, you really lent out your studio for Sharon to use, and that was very kind of you.
Yeah, I really did. I
Yeah.
cleaned the desk, sanitized, removed any weird things, removed like I mean, not weird things, guys, but like weird things for Sharon to be showing her coworkers, like
She
a
just has
picture
secrets
of me.
everywhere.
Like there's usually a picture of me and my dad here. Like
Oh
imagine
yeah.
if that was on Sharon, they'd be like, who is that? That's not you. Anyways, that's like another story. That's
I like another thing that I do is I also close all my windows because if not, you can hear every noise in the under the night sky. Okay. And when it is hot, like it is now, it's like 80 degrees and it's
I'm
November
sweating.
and I am
Mhm.
sweating.
Me too. Like
But
I'm
I
sweating.
suffer for the
It's
good of the
fine.
podcast.
They
Yeah.
can't see it.
No. They just think it's like highlighter. I don't know. Like my
Yeah.
sweat is highlight. But yeah, that's that's what we do to set up. It's really not that much. It's not really that high maintenance, I think.
No. If y'all are listening to our podcast and you're like, wow, I want to start a podcast because Tanisha and Kimai are doing the most and they're doing great. I hope y'all are thinking that. I'm praying that y'all think that. But anyways, if y'all think that, it's easy. It's not easy, but it's not as crazy as someone would think. Like when we first started, I was like, shit, I have to buy everything. I have to do this, I
Right.
have to do that. Nah. You can even probably do it without paying for a mic. But I would recommend it based on my experience. Zero experience.
If you guys want to start a podcast, highly recommend. I am having a great time. Kimai is having a great time. This is something that really worked out for us. Super easy. And if you guys want to get started but don't exactly know how, like you can always ask us questions and we will support you and we'll be excited for you if you want to take that journey for yourself.
To round out this episode, we shared our secrets. We opened the curtains. They know what we do now. So, what are our goals?
We have a lot of goals.
We do.
Obviously, one of our goals is to eventually monetize. honestly.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct.
Ding, ding, ding. Because, you know, if you haven't noticed by now, this shit, it takes some time. Okay. It really, really does. That's okay. We're having a good time while we are taking all of these hours doing this work. But some compensation would be very appreciated. So
it would be.
Eventually we would like to monetize, and eventually I will figure out how to start doing that. But
thank God for Tanisha.
We'll see. Okay, but moving on to another goal, because we've talked about that a lot. We really want more guests. And
we do.
Yeah, as you guys know, we have already had one guest so far, the amazing Alex Zhang. But we would love more. And I think the problem that we have the most is we have people in mind that we want to bring on, but they don't know what they want to talk about, and they don't have a subject in mind, which is fine. We could come up with something, but also we want the guests to be passionate about what they're coming on to talk to us about.
Yeah.
We're on the lookout for guests. So if you guys have somebody in mind that you want to see on our podcast, let us know.
And if you have any other topics, like maybe you're like, I really want to know what it's like to be a bioengineer, then we can bring Alex back on.
We can bring him back here. I'm sure he would love being back here.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. First guest, that was exciting. It was stressful because we didn't know what we're doing. Again, like we went back to being like very unfamiliar, because it's a different dynamic with 3 people, not just us. But I mean, it was fun until he went to get a snack, but that's fine.
If you try to eat during our podcast, at least give us a little heads up, okay? Before you vamoose to the kitchen, okay? I just need to know so I can be prepared. I think a personal goal of mine also is to be better at talking in general, just being able to convey my thoughts exactly how I want them to be conveyed. I want to stop saying, I want to stop spewing trash when I can give value instead. And we love talking to one another, Kimai and I, but I would also like to be able to talk to all different types of people just as well too. So eventually with more guests, I think I'll be able to get better with that, be a better conversationalist, and get to that point. So that is a goal for myself.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's a goal for me too. Another one of our goals is to be better at social media. So improve our posts, our stories, engagement. Like we want things to look cute, as Tanisha was saying, like she discovered those stickers. So we're trying to stick stickers on stuff. And you know, we want to engage more in stories where like we're talking and people are replying or engaging in any like polls that we do. Not that we've done have we done a poll? We might have done a poll, but that stuff, because we hope that we'll be able to like grab more viewers and followers that will be, you know, interested in the things that we say, and just outreach to more people. And we're trying to think of new things and just be creative as well. So we're kind of triggering that creativity in our head, because I think both Tanisha and I, we are more on the like not creative side. Like, what do we call it? You know, left brain, right brain. We're not the creativity brain, whichever brain that is.
There's a lot that goes into that, though.
There you go. See,
we just want to be more creative. That is what we want.
We do.
I remember that we had a little question box for you guys, like way back, where we were like, hey, we're doing a Q&A. What kind of questions do you want us to answer? And the problem with that was we recorded way in advance. So I'm pretty sure everybody who gave us a question to answer, they were like, damn, these bitches be ignoring us for like months on end. They're never going to do a Q&A. When in reality, we did one that week, but it wasn't released until later.
Yeah, we need to work on that. I mean, maybe we can do like a live Q&A too. Maybe not a live Q&A, but we can like answer questions on like the stories, something like that, you know? It's because like, I don't know when we can ever get to the point where we record that week and then release the next week, but we will try our best.
But yeah, that, you know, everything takes planning. And once we have an idea, we have to figure out a schedule to get it done. But it's been fun trying to figure out new ways to put out different content and engage with you guys. Like we just started releasing teaser posts that are video clips that are taken from our episodes to get you guys hyped to listen in. And I've enjoyed that. I've also discovered that holding up my phone and trying to talk on my story is very hard, and I feel very
Yeah.
awkward.
Mhm.
And my arm is not stabilized, and I'm like, how
No.
do people social media influence? I do not
Yeah.
know.
And I also have to find like a good background. Like when I did it, I was literally sitting on my bathroom floor. So
I went to the corner of my room and I was like, I think this looks kind of okay. It'll have to do. Have to put it out anyway, I guess. But yeah, so we're just looking at new ways to just engage with you guys.
Mhm. We love engaging with y'all. It makes us excited, as we mentioned already. So please throw in any comments or respond to our stories or share our stories too. It'd be great to share it if y'all could share
Yeah,
us with your friends and stuff.
please. Let us know if maybe we have helped you with any of the things that we have said, if you can relate to anything we've said. You can ask us questions. You can also let us know if you think we're funny, if we're just so dumb that we are funny. That is okay too.
That's okay. We know.
That's okay. We know that's what I'm laughing at. That's really
Yeah.
what I'm laughing at. It's not the jokes. It's the what, Tanisha, why are you doing that? Why
Yeah.
is this happening? Yeah.
And then we
Um
release it and we're like, can't take it back now. Like
yeah.
the what was it? The get his attention episode.
Oh shit.
That was full of just crazy shit. Okay.
That was a lot of awkward. I know you guys could tell that there was some tea in that because there was a spike in views, okay, if I'm going to be honest.
I know.
So we see that you guys like the tea. We embarrass ourselves for content. That is what we do here, and that is okay. And if you
That's
guys
okay.
enjoy it, please talk to us. Please let us know. We just want to hear from you guys because after all, we can listen to ourselves all day, but we would love to know what you guys think as well.
If you are all listening right now, thank you so much. We love you, and it really means a lot that you all take the time to listen to our episode. I hope this behind the scenes was a really fun episode for y'all to listen to, and hopefully you better understand like the process that we go through in order to release all of these episodes, graphics, teasers for you all.
And I mean, we're having a great time. I don't think we're going to stop anytime soon. This to me has been like a really wonderful blessing and a nice break kind of from what I've been doing in life in general. So I'm just really happy to be here. I'm happy you guys are listening. Let's keep this party going
Let's go
until the
party.
wheels fall off. Yes. Apparently a
want-
party has wheels now. Party buzz? Okay, continue. Sorry.
I don't want the wheels to fall off though. Like maybe it could just come to a very calm stop.
It'll be fine. Anyways, guys, that's it for our episode. Thanks for listening.
Follow us on Instagram at kinda.tempted. Subscribe and give us a like on YouTube, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.